course. Yeah. So say rent $100 a month or $1,000 a month. They're like, oh, we'd really love to do an option on this house. Well, hey, guess what? You know what? It's 5% down on this, to do a lease option. I really would do it on a renter, honestly, just because renters just they just don't have it. I'm going to do it on a lease option, guy. So I told you right now, the guy called me. He's like, hey, I got $4,000 more I got to put into it. So he put down. A rate. So I sold it to him for $22,000. He put $11,000 down. So 5%. Sorry. 220,000 was the sales price of that house. He put down $11,000, 5%, and he's been making extra principal payments, $1,000 every couple of months. And then this last month he threw down a 5, and he has like 4 more left.
To get to 10% down.
Yeah. 10% down, to get to 10% down, to get 22,000, where I can then convert it to owner finance. So on lease option, guys, I'm like, hey man, monthly payments $1,000. If you can afford $1,300, I'll take 300 of that, and we'll put that towards your owner financing balance. I'll just create an extra $300 of cash flow. I now am taking payments over time instead of payments all up front. Terms. Yes. We're going to get into sub 2 and when and you can and cannot sell in certain ways. Good questions, yeah.
So when's the time you deal with renters? Just when you're in a foreclosure defense, you need somebody in there paying your attorney fees?
Yep, exactly right. Yeah, only when you have to. I mean, I do have some strict, just pure rentals. And the reason why is I have title issues on them that I don't have the right to sell yet. But I do have the right to manage. Yep. Quick word on foreclosure defense. It is a felony to put someone in there in a property and collect rent when the property is in foreclosure. It's called rent skimming because you're not paying their lender. So the way we get around this is, one, we disclose to the person that says, hey, this house is in foreclosure. They know that, but that still doesn't get you around rent skimming. We also have filed a lawsuit. So our intent is not to take the money and run. Our intent is to fight the foreclosure, get the property reinstated, and then I let my buyer know, and they have a disclosure that says, hey, if I get this property reinstated, guess what? Because you've been renting from me, I'm going to immediately put this into a seller finance situation for you to say thank you. So, dude, they've been like, yeah, I'm not gonna jack that person up. So they had the opportunity that, hey, I'll owner finance this to you. I'm not going to give them this away, but they're going to have that opportunity there. If we work something out, we'll apply the difference or whatever. Because that money's been going towards funding lawsuit, whatever. We create equity out of nothing, remember? So we can apply.
So when you're going from, in the person go from lease option to owner finance.
Yes.
You're charging $300 a month more than you would have, just so that can accumulate to equal the 10%.
Yeah.
Owner finance, and then once they get there, then you have a new contract with them.
Yes, we know because like my existing contract's a lease option, and so in my lease option, let's just say, he needs to have you're going to see the contracts today. It says person needs to have X amount of dollars to convert to seller financing. So let's say he needs another 10 grand. So I'm going to take $10,000 and I'm going to divide that by 300, and I get a nice 33 months basically is what that is. So what I'm gonna write it into is I'm gonna say 36-month contract, lease option. If you make these payments on time, after 36 months, we're gonna convert this to an owner finance. So I get an extra extra $900 on the deal. This is like.
I know what I can do with the 60K.
What can you do with the 60K?
Get him into another property.
Sure you can.
Get him another investment property.
That's right. So I have people in the wings that have cash, but it's tough finding them what they want specifically. I got this one girl. Her mom, I don't know how this happened, but her mom lost her children to the state for like welfare fraud or something like that, and they came and they took her kids. She sued the state and won and got like $500 million, like some crazy amount of money. So all of her kids are like fat and happy driving these huge old trucks, diamond rings, gold chains, I'm like, really, what the heck is this? So she comes to my house and she wants this house. And she's like, I got $60,000. But it's in the trust. You have to write to the trust, and I have to get this justification for it and all this stuff. I'm like, fine. I'm like, I'm not going to. The trust was like, we only meet on Thursdays, and it was on a Friday, so I have to wait till next Thursday. I had to buy her with cash in hand. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm going with this person. So she has a 60 grand. So I've been, every time I get a property, I'm like, hey, Carly, here's a house. And she's like, oh, I don't like that area. Oh, I don't like this. So now she's picky. She wanted that house, and the reason why she wanted that house is because her mom lived around the block. So I lost that opportunity with her, and I've been with her for like almost 2 years, like trying to like filter her another property. Doesn't want anything. I'm like, well. So sometimes that does happen. So it's always better to take, bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. Take the money and run. All right, cool.
On this, with the 1K going toward the owner financing and the foreclosure defense situation,
Yeah.
are you somehow obligated to do that? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean,
Morally, maybe.
no, not even that, no. Because I have told people, I said, look, what I do now, so let me back up. This has evolved for me. My current tenant situation right now that I have with the guys that I'm evicting, I put them into a property, and it was going to be a short sale. And they said, we will do this foreclosure defense with you if we have the opportunity to buy the short sale. Not a problem. For sure, definitely. The lender I have comes out, they do an appraisal on the short sale, and guess what? $100,000 in equity. I'm like, there's no way this house has $100,000 in equity. Well, I'm an FHA insured appraiser. This is a appraiser, whatever, blah, blah, blah. House came back at $335,000. I owe $235 on it. They were thinking that they were going to buy it at $189. I don't know, whatever. So now we're going to court. They don't want to get out. All this crazy crap is happening. You promised you sell this house at $189. I'm like, I can't. It's not a short sale. Well, you promised. I'm like, well, one thing, I never promised. Two, I gave you the option to buy this house. It says the appraisal value is $335. I'll sell it to you for $250. I'll make a little bit. You get a great deal. Why not buy this house for $250? It's a piece of crap. Blah blah blah. We're not getting out. No, this is a Orville house that Gary knocked on. So, yeah, you met my tenants, man. So they were all fine and dandy until 6 months later, the short sale disappeared on them. So I'm reevaluating here. I'm going to give them the opportunity, but I'm not going to say, yes, this will happen if I win. Because if I win and I get a house free and clear, let me back up here. I get a house that's free and clear. Yeah, I can go get a cash down payment somewhere else from someone that has $20,000, $30,000 down. Or I can just collect their monthly payment as free and clear. Cash flow, man. Yeah. Am I gonna screw someone who's been with me doing the maintenance and repair on their own dime? Probably not.
So, two outcomes for foreclosure defense are you stalled it and it happens, or you have it, they just drop it. Walk away.
Yeah. I've never personally had them just walk away. The attorneys that I've worked with have. So I'm still like riding this train. I can tell you this from personal experience, unfortunately, of all the foreclosure defenses that I've had, because I've chosen crappy properties that have had a lot of maintenance issues, it's eaten my profit up, or because the properties were, there's an old saying in this business, your properties reflect your tenants and your tenants reflect your properties. Because I've had crappy properties, I've had crappy tenants, and it's eaten up like this right here. I'll probably, when it's all said and done, my legal fees and everything, walk away with like maybe $300. So I've been losing money consistently, or I shouldn't say losing money. I've been like barely making a profit on my foreclosure defenses, and the reason why was two things. One, I was so eager to get into this business that I didn't even know what I was doing, trying to figure this all out. And then two, most importantly, is I would find properties that were just not, they're just beat up. This is why now when I go for the foreclosure defense properties, it has to be a very nice property that is going to be very minimal upkeep. A newer property that someone's going to say, yeah, I would gladly move into this property and take care of it, doing stuff. Nice neighborhood. So I did it in Plumas Lakes. Excuse me. Plumas Lakes is a nice area, 3,500 square foot homes. We're getting rent easily, $2,200 a month. Never had a problem with that house. Bank immediately, whoop, hey, we're going to fix this. So at that point, the homeowner goes, hey, man, thanks so much, Ryan. The bank gave me a modification. We're good. I had partnered with the owner. I didn't take it over, or else I would have been sitting pretty good. So the owner was was good with that one. But yeah, so on high-end properties, banks are really eager to work with you real fast.